Stay tuned because we're going to go over some zero cost upgrades to take you from plain to elevated. Dolly Parton lost to Dolly Parton lookalike contest. Packaging really does make a difference. Obviously, if Dolly herself didn't win a lookalike contest, whoever showed up and won was dressed better, and whatever they did stood out more than she did herself. That is something that we can do ourselves. We can take clothes that we've already got and upgrade them with what we do with them. One of those things is I'm going to show you before where nothing is ironed, and I'm going to show you after where everything is ironed. Before, I'm only wearing a pair of plain white Keds. When you take a little bit of time and put some effort into what you already have, or even go about wearing things with something that you might not normally put with it. Like in some of these, I'm going to show you some where there's 4 different shirts instead of 1 shirt. Like if you're used to wearing 1 shirt with it, try a few different ones. You won't see me with jewelry on in any of these looks. But if you like jewelry, that also is a way you can elevate it. And you don't have to get expensive jewelry. You can go to thrift stores, estate sales, yard sales. You can get really good stuff for really cheap prices. And one tip that I always like, if you want the best deals, is go the last hour of the last day. You can really rack up, put them all in a bundle, hold your money out, and just say, hey, would you take this for all that I've got, And 9 times out of 10 they do, because they're about to wrap up. It's quick money. They don't get a percentage of it if they don't sell the stuff. So that's one tip for sure. Another way packaging is very important. Like, I love this story. So I always have little trinkets in my car for my grandbabies. My granddaughter Flora really loves stickers, so I do that for her too. Well, one day she gets in my car literally just to go from maybe 100 feet, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a Kohl's bag in the back. She's gonna see that and she'll want it right then. And she looked at it and she looked away because it was a plain Kohl's bag. And Kohl's, I'm here to tell you, apparently your bags are not very vibrant and eye-catching, because a 5-year-old wasn't interested in them, didn't think anything significant was in there. So you might want to upgrade your packaging. I'm just saying. So anyway, that also shows that if you have good packaging, it makes people interested in you. I think that the more we want to portray the look of elevation, the more details we have to put into it. Now, I showed what I had on the first time, which was this. It wasn't ironed. My hair was in a ponytail. I didn't have on any makeup. I had on plain shoes. And that was fine because I was just going out to dinner with my family, and they don't care how I look, and I didn't care how I looked because we were just going to eat Mexican, and I didn't even care if I saw anybody I knew. But let's say that you run into your arch nemesis of the county fair, who always wins the, prize for the best daisies, and you run into her. If you're looking like a busted can of biscuits, she's going to win. Do you know what I'm saying? Unless she also looks like a busted can of biscuits. So my point is, if you want to portray or convey a look of elevated, you do have to put a little bit of detail in it. Now, you might also see in the before side and then the after side that there are some differences, and they are, of course, the clothes are ironed. I have on different shoes, but also I switched out bras. And so the one I switched out to it's actually strapless. And I think I got it for like $10 at Kohl's on clearance. Like, I'm a clearance shopper. And so it holds them up so well, and much better than my regular bras, which are so comfortable. But again, I'm just going to eat Mexican with the family. I didn't care if, they were not elevated themselves. So that is another thing. But I also put on one of my shapewear sets because I am a big girl, and I'm not ashamed of that whatsoever. However, I do know that when, my apron shows or whatever, it doesn't look as appealing if it doesn't show. And I don't mean appealing, that might not be the right word, but basically it does look better if that's slimmed out some. So I did wear shapewear for the after look as well. Now, the shoes generally the ones that I wore are ones that I wear every day. And my friend Gita, she just loves to razz me because she's like, you wear the cutest stuff, but then you wear these plain sandals, or shoes. And I'm like, that's what's comfortable. I mean, I'm 54 years old. I'm going for comfort, Another thing that I wanted to point out about packaging was there's a James Spader movie, and I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember off the top of my head, but this was when he was younger. He was formerly a rich kid, and his dad must have lost everything in some, whatever. And they have to move out of state, and then he becomes a poor kid. And, they end up he meets this group of friends, and they end up going to a country club, and he's with a girl and, a few other people. And he makes her over from how she looked, which is a little edgy, kind of punkish looking, to totally preppy. And he does it by just adjusting some of the things that she has on. And I was like, oh my God. Like, of course I know it's a movie and made up, but it was so funny that he saw the difference. He could tell that she does not generally wear elevated clothes. In this case, going from how they were to a country club, that was elevated. That's my whole comparison of that. It was really cool to see how just changing a few things, which was what she was already wearing. And that's what we did. All these clothes, I didn't buy anything. These are clothes I wear every summer. And so, that was just another way to convey that packaging really makes a big difference. Also wanted to point out there was this lady when I went to Samantha's graduation. This lady was walking up the stairs when it was over, and I look over her and I was like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. She's so elegant. And I actually, touched her on the shoulder and told her that. I was like, you look so beautiful and so elegant. And she looked so happy to have heard that. And she was just like, thank you so much. And it goes back to that Coco Chanel saying, which again, I'm going to put on the screen so that I don't butcher it. But basically it implies, if you have an obnoxious dress, you're going to remember the dress. But if you have an elegant dress, you're going to remember the woman. And I do remember the woman. I couldn't tell you if that was a name brand dress. I couldn't tell you if her shoes were name brand. But how she was wearing it and what she was wearing, it made her look so elegant. And she had an air about her. And that is something that we can do and we can attain because we feel good about it on the inside. Which also reminds me of another story about packaging when I was younger. And as I've been growing up, it took me a while to realize what happened. So I was about 10 years old, and we were going to go to the local high school to watch a family friend. My mom had got me a new outfit, and it was just, probably jeans and a shirt with a soccer ball on it. Very 10-year-old worthy. But I loved it. I put it on and went, and let me tell you, so many people complimented me on that. And I just thought, as I was growing up, what was so special about that outfit? And then it finally hit me. There was nothing special about that outfit. What was special is how I felt in it. You could see the pleasure on my face. You could tell that I liked it, that I felt good. And I'm sure, just like if anyone compliments you as a 10-year-old, I'm sure I was like, oh, it's new, whatever. So I thought just because you get a new outfit that people could tell and people would compliment you on your new outfit. And that was not the case at all. And that's still not the case. I think if you challenge yourself to look in your closet for things that you do wear every day, you can elevate them yourself. You can do that with hair and with makeup. Oh, and that's another thing. Obviously, the before, I don't have on makeup. The after, I do. I've done my hair, 10 different ways throughout the thing, just to show you that, having your hair in a ponytail is fine, but it's not elevated unless you use that banana clip and, awesome. I think I'm going to start wearing a banana clip every day. I'm actually going to the Braves game on Thursday, and I'll definitely wear it then. I'll show you pictures. Okay, there's one other story, and then I won't be bothering you anymore. But I saw this. It was actually a YouTube video, and it was basically this kind of, if it was a documentary, it was like a 20-minute long documentary. But it was basically saying that people give more importance based on what you look like, how well you're maintained, what you drive, you know, basically to give a perception that you might have more money than you do. And haven't we met those people that, you know, look like a bum and yet they're millionaires, and met those that are flashy and they are broke? So what happened is they showed this guy, and he, you know, his hair had not been trimmed recently. He was just wearing, you know, wrinkly clothes, and he pulled up to a valet in like an old Honda Civic or Honda Accord, you know, one of those. And so it showed girls, you know, walking up to the thing, and these girls just totally didn't even pay him any attention. So then they did his hair. You know, they put him in really nice clothes. They let him drive up in this really nice car. And then, of course, all the girls were looking because he looked like he had money. That doesn't mean he does, but he looked like it. So my point of that is just saying that if you want to look elevated, it is simple to take what you've got and, you know, compliment them in better ways. You know, do your hair, do your makeup. You don't, I mean, I don't wear fake nails or whatever. If that's your thing, you do it. But, you know, I have started getting pedicures again. That's a whole other story. I'll do that one day. But anyway, my point is just that you can elevate what you already have. You might just have to put a little effort into, you know, ironing it, fixing it if it has holes. Actually, a few of those shirts do have holes because my son's cat Nacho will sit and do that to my shirts, which I don't even think about it until later, and I'm like, ugh. So I have to fix those. But anyway, that's just something to go over, and I really want to thank you for coming. I've had so much fun doing this, and I've been able to reminisce as I've been getting ready, and that's always fun. I love that. I like looking back on my life and thinking of all the good and the bad and the ugly, but, you know, mostly good, and this was one of them. So anyway, thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. What do you think? These are so flippin' cute. So I got to tell you this story about them. I watched these girls on YouTube called, well, their channel's at Hey Wanderer. They wear overalls like this, and one of their Q&As, they said that they got them from Duluth Trading Company. And so one of them had on this exact pattern, and I lost my poop over them. I went to yard sale at a subdivision, and I wore this exact way with my, you know, with them rolled up and with these shoes. I got so many compliments, and one lady, I was like, she's like, oh my gosh, you look so cute. Like, I stopped and talked to her, told her the whole story, like how much I paid and if she signs up, and did the whole thing, you know. And we stood and talked for like 5 minutes, and she was one of the people doing the yard sale, and her husband's like, honey, come back, you know. But it's just so funny and so cute. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys.